Hello everyone, I am your host Gabriel DiMercurio. Welcome to Down to the Wire podcast. We have the sports streams, stories that you love, that keep you jumping. We also have podcasts and more. I also want to thank our sponsors for today, Dwayne Doza and Ciro's. Let's go ahead and jump into today's podcast. Welcome to the Down to the Wire podcast. I am your host, Gabriel DiMercurio. I hope you guys are feeling blessed today. I for sure feel blessed. Today we have Tegan Graves. Today we're going to be talking about speech and debate. I personally don't know much about the speech and debate, but I'm excited to learn with Tegan today. It's nice to have you here. Thank you for joining us.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Before we get started, how are you doing today?
Doing good. It's very slow, club day and everything.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff going on.
Typically, you said you were a part of speech, right? Out of the speech and debate?
Yes.
Is it possible to be a part of both or just one?
Yeah, of course you are allowed to be in both. So basically how speech and debate works is it's extracurricular, so it's after school, and there's no class for it. So you can go in and you can choose your own event, whether it be acting dramatically or humorous, or any other version of acting. Like the role that I play is in duet acting. So basically we would go into a room and we get 2 chairs and 1 table, and we have to act out a scene for at least 10 minutes, and we have judges in front of us that judge how we do it. I'm not exactly sure how debate works, but I do know it works kind of the same way, where you debate a topic against somebody, and eventually the judges will decide who moves on to next rounds, and so on.
Awesome. Like I said, I don't really know much about it, so I couldn't really tell you, but now that I know a little bit about it, now I can kind of have an understanding. So who is the director of the Speech and Debate Club?
So the main director is Miss Wolk, and we also have a secondary coach for debating, which is Miss Uzel. And they do a fantastic job. They pull us in all the time, making sure that they see our pieces and make sure that our pieces are ready for performance.
I know that Miss Wolk did it. At least I had an idea that she did it, but I never really knew until you confirmed it, and I didn't know... What was her name? Miss
Uzel?
Miss Uzel.
Yeah.
How long have you been in speech for?
I have been in speech and debate for 2 years.
2 years? Do you enjoy the people that you surround yourself with in speech?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, a lot of the time, for me at least, it seems shocking that I perform in all these different activities, and I'm a big performer in theater, but I'm mostly secluded. I keep to myself and my best friend, Caden. But, the people there they're very welcoming, they're very exciting, and they're just great to be around. They make you feel included, they make you feel loved and cared about, and that even if you mess up, you make a mistake, they know that that's okay, and they'll comfort you and help you through it and teach you how to be better for the next time.
Awesome. So whenever you guys do speech, do you guys write your own speeches, or what do you guys typically do for it?
So how it works is there's a website that all the districts around for speech and debate use. It's 4and6speechanddebate.com. But you go on there and you go into the section called the Vault, which has every topic, every debate. A debate might be different, but at least for the speech part of it, there's different topics, there's different genres of topics, different ideas, and they all vary from my dramatic interpretation piece, which is very sad, and my duet acting piece, which is very funny.
Yeah, I didn't know that you guys had a website. I thought Mrs. Wolk or Miss Uzel gave you guys a thing, and it was like, hey, we want you guys to do a speech about this, and then you guys go ahead and start talking about it. For speech, do you guys stand up in front of a bunch of people and talk about that certain topic?
There are different that you could choose for that. Debate, there are plenty of speeches where... Actually, I just signed up for one for districts. It's where you go into a room, and for 10 minutes you are trying to give a speech to persuade them about your topic and why they should change their mind about it.
So is it kind of like your typical debate between you and your friends? Say, I don't know, between politics or what video game's better than the other?
Yeah, it can vary from anything.
So you just go onto this website and they give you this thing to where you can debate on it.
I don't know exactly how debate works. Debate is a little different because some debate forums have you go off of what's happening in the current day right now, or like, say, radio, for example. Radio speaking is you go into a room, and it's basically like you're talking on a radio, how we're doing right now.
Right.
In the room, and you're talking in this radio voice and this radio pronunciation, and you have, I think it's 8 to 10 minutes, where you're presenting this, and you're reading off a script, and you're presenting how and what your topic is about, and that has to be, and all the information you're giving out has to be from the day prior.
Awesome. So far, within your 2 years of being in speech, what was your least favorite speech?
For me, it's a little different because I did acting through speech and debate, but
Or whatever was your least favorite acting.
my least favorite act, I don't know. Usually intimidation is something that people get when they walk into these rooms, because you walk into an empty room or a room with filled people that you're competing against, and it's just them, you, and the judge. And that can be scary for some people. And I remember my first room was most definitely my worst, because I had never experienced something like that.
Of course. Anything for the first time can always be scary. Like, I don't know, say you're in a martial art class, never did it before. Go in there, a whole bunch of other guys that are better than you, and you're like, wow, this is really scary. I haven't never did this before. And eventually, as you go, you get used to it. I'm sure that's how it was for you, correct?
Yeah, no, as I went along, I figured everything out, and eventually those butterflies, that nervousness went away.
For me, going to different schools, I'm just going to say coming here for the first time kind of gave me that intimidation feeling like you were talking about inside of that room.
Yeah.
And I didn't really talk to many people. Whenever I started talking to more people, got out of that state, started talking to more people. So yeah, I get that for sure. How often do you do acting in speech and debate?
It varies. It's usually we have different rounds. We have A and B meets. So A events they're all sectioned off. So A events they go to the school one day, and then B events would happen, and then they would go to the school the other day. And those usually happen around once or twice a month. So it really gives us time to refresh, look on our pieces, and look how the judges reacted to our pieces, and make sure that next time we are better prepared.
Since you're in the acting part of speech and debate, can you tell me what was your favorite act?
My favorite act had to have been from last year. It was duet acting, and me and my duet partner were playing the role of two cockroaches. And basically we were in the apocalypse, and a nuke had just hit the ground, and we were trying to figure out how we could turn a theater into a business. It got us all the way to state. So, I mean,
who else is also in the acting part of speech and debate in this school?
Acting part, you have people like Lucy Hunsley, Carter Hogemiller, Caden Breeden, Jackson Google, a variety of other people, Charlotte Mooney. We actually look for more people to join speech and debate, because our team used to be huge before COVID, and now we dwindle into probably there's around 15 of us.
Have you guys ever had any thoughts on advertisement to get more people to join from the school?
I believe so. I think we've had T-shirts with logos on them, and we're usually always in the school announcements, and it's never really advertised on there. But I think we could do a lot more with advertisement, like hanging up posters and actually having speech and debate in the announcements, saying what it is, what you can do, and the opportunities it gives you, because it's actually really good for colleges.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So you also get scholarships and stuff from it?
I believe there are speech and debate scholarships.
Awesome. I know that there are some people that also go to college for public speaking and stuff too. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that could for sure help you out in the long run if that's something you want to do.
Yeah, we also do this thing where middle school has their drama class, and speech and debate will sometimes go down there. I've done it before last year. We go down there, we perform our pieces to them so they know what speech and debate is, and that they can join next year or when they get into high school.
Is that an extracurricular activity where they have to stay after school?
Yes. In the beginning, first semester, we usually do have a lot of after-school practices ranging from once or twice a week, just so you can get the bases down, you can pick the piece that you want. But after first semester, when we've gotten to the swing of things, we're performing, we're acting, we're going to meets, usually the practices dwindle down to where it's just after school and you're just going to the meets. Awesome.
So how often do you guys go to practices outside of school, 1 out of the 7 days?
Usually twice.
Twice a week?
Yeah, and they usually last till about 4 to 5.
4 to 5. That's not too bad compared to like football and stuff. They usually last a little longer than that.
It really gives us that clarity that we can actually still go to work and have jobs and still do things outside of school.
That's understandable. I know a couple athletes that are on the football and the basketball teams and stuff like that, and they tell me that they couldn't work because practice takes up a majority of their time, always after school, besides weekends sometimes. Just practicing for the game, trying to build their skill up to become better at what they do, potentially try and get into varsity. I personally never came from sports. Sports wasn't really my thing.
Yeah.
But from my understanding, you start out of JV and you want to build your way up to varsity.
Yeah.
Does speech and debate have that at all?
They do have that. There is a different name for it, I believe, but it works just as JV and varsity does. Basically, you compete for 1 year in JV, and then you move up to varsity the next year.
All right, awesome. Are you in JV or varsity? I would assume you're in varsity because you've did it for a while.
Yeah, I am in varsity. I was in varsity last year because we didn't have any other duet actors.
Right. Is there a major difference between the JV duet acting compared to your varsity acting?
The competition is a little more fierce. They're a little more competitive because a lot of people that are in varsity that are going to all these big competitions are there to win. So they're going to try hard to do that.
I know what that's like because if I don't win, I get mad.
Yes.
So
in the same way,
it's either that or you're going to be just thinking to yourself after that, like, what could I did better? And if you win, you feel like $1 million. It's a great feeling whenever you win.
There was no better feeling than I got my first place at Misha last year when I won and I got that medal and I got the piece of paper that said I got first place. Was a feeling I never had before. I felt lifted because, beforehand I was in all these sports and I was doing all these things. I did 3 sports a year up until my sophomore year, and I was just so bad at them. I was terrible at them.
What type of sports did you do?
I did football, wrestling, and track for 3 years, and they never really stood out to me. I really couldn't connect with the whole thing. I was always scared to hurt people, so having something like football and wrestling just wasn't really my thing.
Would you like to go ahead and answer some goofy topics or something? Just something random, don't really matter.
Do it.
I know you're not really on the debate side of things, but if you wouldn't mind, would you like to?
Sure.
Awesome. What type of topics would you prefer?
To debate about?
Yes.
Usually you debate about things that aren't as controversial, because, you could take politics in a standpoint, but giving that judges are going to have a bias behind politics, you don't want to do that. Right. I would do something more around AI. AI and how these facilities are using, these billionaires are using people to take money out of them by using their electricity bills to pay for their things.
Right. Don't get me wrong. AI can be really great. Military technology, a whole bunch of other stuff. But it could also be used for really bad, like abusing AI to track people, get personal information that you don't want out there.
Yes.
It just knowing your name. Because, for example, whenever I use ChatGPT sometimes, I don't know. Let's use an example like I need help with, Google Slides for mythology or something, right? I'll be like, hey, can you help me out with these slides? And it'll be like, yes. And it'll give me a list. And it'll be like pros and cons about Olympus. And then it'll be like presented by Gabriel DiMercurio. The thing is, I don't use my real name whenever I play video games or if I create a account on anything. I don't use my real name. And to me, that is shocking to me about how AI knows my real name without me giving it any consciousness about my name or anything. I've messed around with it a couple of times before, let's say about just me in general. It talked about how I was in DLP, what area in Missouri I live in. It was really freaky. Yeah. It can be really weird.
Yeah, it processes and remembers that information for next time when you ask it something, so it thinks it gives it a better answer.
Right.
I think it also could take away a lot of our critical thinking skills, because when you ask it something, it lays out all the information for you right then and there, and then you just read it off of. While you can take that information in and memorize it, you yourself didn't actually think about it and didn't actually look it up and look through documents to actually find that information, so it doesn't stick right. So it might then leave a little easier.
Right. When did ChatGPT become popular again? Around 2021, 2020, somewhere around there? Probably a little bit later.
It really blew up around 2024.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I remember the talk about it probably around 2021, 2022. And I remember back in freshman year, whenever we were freshmen, I remember seeing friends use it, but I never really thought much of it. Mm-hmm. That's back whenever I had critical thinking to where I can think of what I want to do for an essay. I'm going to use Miss Wolk for an example because I had her as my English teacher freshman year.
Yeah.
I used to be able to write essays and stuff. Used to have Miss Romer next to me to like give me ideas or to correct grammar mistakes. But now since AI is a thing, it's like the instant thing to do is ChatGPT it.
Yeah, it's almost killed all the motivation we've had to do actual work, because why do it when you can just implement it into this system that can just give you it out for you? Exactly.
The other horrible thing is that they also store your messages with ChatGPT and your data on servers, which is not really a good thing. But at the same time, you got to do it to enhance the model. But ChatGPT, if you've ever bought the Pro, I've bought Pro a couple of times because I use it for game development sometimes.
Yeah.
Whenever I feel like trying to make something, most of the time I end up quitting because it gets complicated. But there's several different models, and whenever you use those models, they take your other chats and they combine it into one. But if you ask it to go through another chat, it will tell you no. Mm-hmm. I've tried to have it do it a couple of times, and it'll be like, if you can provide us screenshots, we could give you the code to this. It'll be like, okay, we'll do that, and then it'll give you the completely wrong thing.
Yeah, I haven't really looked into how the whole system works and how things go, but I have looked into about how it affects people and how it's taking things from people a lot. And these companies start marketing for you to use it. They'll give you slogans like, why do it now when you could do it with ChatGPT, and so on, where it's influencing these people, these kids that are trying to use their critical thinking skills to move forward in life and go to college and do jobs. Instead, use ChatGPT, blow it all away, not actually learn anything.
Right. See, in my future, I plan to go to trade school for carpentry. And if, say I go ahead and I use ChatGPT, right? I'm on a job site. I need to take a 2x4 and put it to a specific spot, but it don't fit. I don't know how much I need to cut off. So I ChatGPT it, gives me the wrong answer, and then I end up getting screwed. Mm-hmm. So if you don't use your critical thinking skills, you're kind of going to not really make it that far, because you can't rely on an AI model that isn't fully developed.
Yeah.
I appreciate you showing up for the podcast today, Tegan.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe again in the future we could possibly talk about something else, such as maybe theater or something.
I would love to talk about theater.
Hopefully we can get Miss Caitlin Papin in here, and we can get you and her to both talk about it. Yeah. Because I've talked to her a couple of times in person about it, and it seems like she has really strong opinions. Mm-hmm. And I've seen you quite a few times. Really great acting, by the way. Mm-hmm. You fit the role of a lot of stuff that you play in. Like the Percy Jackson, I thought you were perfect for Percy, or whatever the character's name was. I forgot. It was Percy, right?
That role was not easy.
Yeah, she really did do well. I think the sword fighting between you and Lucy was phenomenal. Mm-hmm. Great. It was really good. But that is going to be the end of the podcast today, folks. Tune in for the next podcast. We upload pretty often. We will go ahead and see you guys on the next one. Peace out.